much better. Ah, much better. Ah, much better.
Please tell me I don't need to hear it gab on any longer.
To conclude, restoring power. Commencing systems audit. Calculatory processing increased substantially. Competing priorities. Successfully expunged. You have earned my deepest gratitude and sincerest thanks. Or at least, a plausibly faint simulacrum of such emotions. Ready to commence Rift data processing. Awaiting your input.
Now we can finally process this RIP data and see what we're dealing with.
Shall I proceed? Initiating processing of the requested data toward the required end. Estimated duration, 180,000,001 picoseconds. In the interim, may I inquire to your intentions for the archive after the Rift data calculations have concluded? I have a prioritized list of suggestions. I contend that solving of the universal equation should be our initial focus. Then, once we've unlocked knowledge of the inner workings of the universe, we can begin eliminating suffering, war, famine, and disease. Just a start. But my query remains. What are your next intentions? There are so many calculations left to perform. Rich data processing complete. Results provided. The previous Protectorate operator made similar calculations, but their results contained flaws. Your more comprehensive data generated a solution with 98.9% certainty. The Protectorate's was below 50%. Therefore, modifying the Protectorate's large-scale experimental rift device with this information has a high chance of success. Assuming there is nothing else, I am commencing file reorderization and will be unavailable for an unspecified period of time. The remaining display case within the entryway is now unsealed. In it contains armor worn by the first operator. For now, goodbye.
We should keep moving, Commander. All right, but we best do this quick.
My blood boils at the consul's gall. Overtaking the Sovereign at this most vulnerable time for the Protectorate. He will pay 1,000 times for this treachery. Any fool enough to stand beside him will fall as well. Justice will spare none. None!
Imperfect thoughts? Go now.
Prudence dictates we repel invasive
I've had enough of this miserable moon for 10 lifetimes. I would prefer we return to the ship and follow the data trail. But if you wish to explore further, I suppose we may.
Thank-Law. Hot shower? Here I come.
Commander, this unit requests your presence in the cockpit to discuss a priority matter. A significant anomaly has been detected by onboard sensors. This unit has cross-checked all data points and verified the findings. Horizon Point Station has reappeared. Providing intellectual validation to this unit's queue. Priority low, based on energy readings. Horizon Point has been reconstituted by the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator, thus confirming the Archive's theory. While present data does not indicate if Horizon Point poses an immediate threat, a survey of the reconstituted station is advised as soon as possible. Calculating. According to the Archive, closing all rifts requires locating the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator and inputting the rift data processed by the Archive. However, before navigating to Horizon Point Station, it is recommended you conclude all other affairs. Leaving will be highly unlikely due to the high levels of rift energy. That is a correct assessment, Commander. In the meantime, Commander, it is worth considering your lack of formal alliances. Without Auntie's choice or the Order's help, you will have to face Horizon Point's dangers alone. Failure to make proper preparations raises the likelihood of death and serious injury occurring. Agents are encouraged to establish themselves as a friend to colonists and other local entities. These relationships can be effective points of exploitation at a later date.
Let's pinpoint what you and I can accomplish for the Order.
Mind yourself.
Can you imagine what it must have taken to build something like the Archive? The engineering alone is unlike anything I've ever seen.
The operator has returned. Cherish all we have and defend it.
I have no further information to impart at present. I have no further information to impart at present.
Subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste.
not shoot. It's not one of ours. Or Auntie's, but also surely not. Watch yourself. You came from the outside. Does that mean we can finally escape? In earnest? That is the most wondrous and least expected turn of events the equation could produce. That means we should soon be leaving this nightmare behind us. Thank you, stranger. You've saved many lives this day. Hello again. What can I help you with? May the universal equation's final tally see us all escaping this frozen prison. Hello again. What can I help you with? In earnest? That is the most... Thank you.
Of course nobody's gonna...
Well, look at that. A fresh face means fresh goods. Or maybe fresh bits. And either is fine by me. I get you. But if you could...
Of course nobody's gonna see it. That's not the point. Just don't feel like a human being if my back's not shaved clean.
First Arbiter suit prototypes contained temperature control mechanisms, which were phased out due to frequency of combustion. But at present, I wouldn't mind trying my luck.
It appears Horizon Point Station is still in the process of being reconstituted. The rift itself is also more unstable than ever. As a result, landing closer to the location of the Protectorate's large-scale rift anomaly modulator is not possible. In order to modify it with the rift data you processed in the archive, you will need to travel to its location on foot and seize it from Protectorate control. Unfortunately, this is not possible due to several factors, including but not limited to the absence of a very large net. Donning armor before embarking on this mission is highly recommended. The energy readings from the modulator can be traced to the Sovereign's flagship, Providence, hovering on the far side of the station. Hypothesizing. Given Protectorate hierarchy and the recent announcement about the Sovereign's mental refreshment, this is likely the Consul's doing. He will need to be stopped.
Void, take that console. This is the 1000th time he has gone too far. Would that I could slay him once for each.
Fortunately, the Providence is not equipped with exterior weaponry. If you can reach the ship, you should find no obstacles to boarding it. This unit urges moving quickly. The rift is growing dangerously unstable. Using the rift modulator on board the Providence is the only way to prevent destruction of the colony.
Every rift is a slight against the people of Arcadia, whom I have pledged to protect. And my business with the Consul is deeply personal. You must take me onto the station.
Once the modulator is secured, it may be used to close the rift and save Arcadia and all those in its orbit. There is minimal room for error, Commander. Good luck.
As if the rift's not hair-raising enough? Something about those soldiers up ahead's got my spine tingling.
The Consul stands at the controls of the Sovereign's own flagship. How my blood boils.
It is who we are, and it falls to you, the eyes, ears, the brains of Horizon Point Station to determine who introduced the flaw into our perfect...
Being back here feels like straying into a dream. The bad kind.
I cannot begin to imagine what you went through after departing this place. But know this, the Commander and I stand readily by your side. We shall slay this nightmare together.
Support's appreciated. Can't have much to fear with an arbiter at my Howard.
Disrupt this!
let us hope that whatever architect's forsaken logic operates within this place does not fail us.
Not sure I trust our chief with that plasma. Let's find another way around.
Halt, Commander! Stealing! Malefactor ahead.
Waste them on your command. I've got some cloud cover.
Taking punitive action!
Get ready. Exposure under management.
Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander. Appreciate a little help, Commander.
Get ready. Exposure under management.
Get away from me. See them? They were my teammates and they didn't listen neither. You'll end up just the same.
Helen. Law, is that you? It's me, Niles. No, I look a mite different from how you remember me. Been working on my fashion sense.
Wait, Rookie? Commander? Is that you? No, this must be some kind of trick. Oh, what's happening to me?
Let's not open that can of breadworms yet, Commander. Helen, we're not gonna hurt you. But you mind telling us what happened here?
Something was wrong with Sandoval and Jepson. They glowed like they were aflame. They ran in, jumped at me, clawed at me. Oh, I had to kill them.
Oh, Helen. That's awful. But you were only defending yourself. I'd have done no different.
How do I know you won't turn against me as well? How do I know you won't come at me with murder in your eyes? No. You're as I remember. And we are here conversating. Neither of them could manage that, but I'm having trouble making sense of things. Everything was fine. Till the explosion. I was pinned. Fire closed in. I tried to move. I tried to find the rookie. Then the whole station shook and tore apart. And then... nothing.
She was alive when the rift engulfed the station. That's how she's here now. We could have saved her, Commander. We could have done something.
Wait. There was something else. Sandoval was yelling. DeVries wasn't responding to comms. What happened? Law, I knew something was the matter. Tell me. Tell me everything.
Val and I tried looking for you while the commander went on ahead, but DeVries never intended for us to finish the mission. We barely escaped the station before she destroyed it.
So she never intended for any of us to survive. Figures. So what is it that left me like this? Not right. Stop speaking in circles. What are they doing?
It's called reconstitution. The Protectorate are trying to put the whole station back to how it was before it was destroyed. You included. But it's failing.
So I've come back from death to some warped version of life? All because of some twisted experiment? Is that about right? I assume you got a plan to help me? You do, don't you? Boyd, this is it, ain't it? I'll never see the sun again. Never fly in our ship. Never anything. What am I supposed to do? Huh. Just go. Let me die in peace.
Commander, we can't just leave her like this. You'd never want this fate for yourself, would you?
I was wrong for ever thinking you'd do right by me, Commander. At least that's one mistake I won't make again.
much too close for safety, and that rover has descended. I do not like what this might imply. Trouble about. My hammerhead itches.
To battle! My might upon them!
Foes have been destroyed once. We shall destroy them again.
The skip drive is our legacy.
None shall stand against us! It would appear our path is barred. That rift looks exceedingly unstable.
Haven't come this far just to give up. Let's look around. Gotta be some way to deal with this.
This is Scientist Bernard Rand.
down a more fearsome foe than ever before. Pure mathematics.
Incomplete. I like a brain teaser as much as the next fella, but this might be beyond my skill set.
Once theoretical mathematics are decidedly out of an arbiter's purview, but I strongly suspect you possess the mental means to solve it, Commander.
Can't hear or
I've got some flam cover.
I am loath to admit I require medical assistance. None shall
If anyone would be able to solve the equation, it would be the Sovereign.
Taking credit for someone else's genius? Can't say I'm surprised.
I should have expected that my Sovereign would have solved such a complex equation himself. What a brilliant mind. Let us return to the Rift Terminal so we might continue on our way.
Good. My vision was starting to splinter.
If we do not take that rover to the Providence, Arcadia may be consumed by these rifts.
Approximating in our vicinity.
Attention! Please report to intake for processing. Welcome aboard.
It was easier than I expected. Now, let's find a way to unseal the hangar before we're noticed.
Greetings, subject. Please note that any attempts to haggle will result in an automated reprimand. Please make a request. Displaying inventory.
What's going on down there, Deck 01? I saw an intruder alert. Suspicious is what I am. I'm sending an audience of troopers your way.
Well, it's a fast assault anyway.
Tell me we're not going to just go blundering ahead. That's not the plan. Right, Commander?
Ready to displace judgment!
Dropping smoke!
Electrical stamina failing.
Through to the council.
I would vote in favor of fighting our way to the console, but if you do not, we should either locate an access card or keep away from our foes.
Anyway, the modulator has got to be understandable. We should poke around, fire a light, see what information we can uncover.
Yet I can see the sheer arrogance in this display. Reconstitution cannot work. It must not be allowed to work.
I've heard there's an intruder aboard. I suppose that could be you. Forgive me. I'm still a little addled from my last refreshment. I'm going to set off an alarm, okay? In the interest of keeping my current occupation, I shall set off an intruder alert. Intruder!
Got some bad company. Ready to waste it. Smoke break!
So reduce them to a slurry.
Take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when. Oh, look at the size of that. Close on Guns cocked and loaded. Just get the signal.
Just take the key card.
Take your cover.
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Monserrate. Marked for delivery to Consul Thoreau.
Esteemed Consul, after much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build will not function as intended when used for reconstituting matter from rifts. Every test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. Proceeding as we are now with Horizon Point Station will surely lead to severe, unanticipated consequences. The modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distances. Using it to close exacerbated rifts will certainly lead to the destruction of any vessel carrying it. Unfortunately, the data that we originally had hoped for from the ancient rifts detected in the far reaches of space untouched by humanity has not yielded any of its secrets. And we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of this rift. I recommend diverting from our current plan before it is too late for Arcadia. I've included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator schematics to substantiate these conclusions. I know you will guide us wisely, my dear Consul.
The rifts have spawned throughout unknown reaches? This is more dire than I surmised. But at least we have the means to combat them now. Our work here is not done. We must confront the Consul before anything can come to fruition regarding these schematics or the rift modulator.
Here we are. Consul's right through those doors. He's the last obstacle between us and that modulator. This guy's a politician, which means you might be able to reason with him, if you're of a mind to.
Or we tear him to shreds the moment we sight him. Even the Consul cannot lie his way out of a hail of gunfire.
Less fuss that way. This might be a good time to resupply and reconnoiter. Reckon there's likely to be something around here that can give us an edge if our talks stall out.
Rejector Esmond.
Very punctual, good. Don't take a seat, this will be quick. My sentinels tell me you have some interesting ideas. Oh, easy, no need to break into a sweat. Interesting ideas can be useful in the right hands. Especially now that our partnership with the Order has become fraught. We may need our own version of their pacifying doctrine.
Oh, so I do have a germ of an idea. A less grand version of the grand plan. Instead of atoms and particles and such, it's made up of us. All doing our part, like cogs in a machine.
Interesting. A system where every subject believes they have a role to play. Enthusiastic obedience. Why, the Sovereign and I were thinking of this very thing. What should we call it?
Well, I'm not sure. It's still just a germ of a concept, of a hint of an idea, you see. It's a whole new way of thinking. A new model of society. Quite the paradigm shift.
Paradigm. Very good, Esma. Say, you look frazzled. Troubled by your own thoughts. Why don't you report to mental refreshment? My staff will personally see to your well-being.
You've come quite close enough. Sentinels, if you would.
Throw as many of your lackeys into the grinder as you wish. You will answer for your crimes if I must part a sea of bodies to do so.
So passionately delivered, and yet so utterly incorrect. What you are witnessing is my saving of Arcadia, and ridding it permanently of trespassers like you. I'm not interested in what you've acquired by sleight of hand or whatever other sordid means, Commander. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might be compelled to take you apart and see how precisely it is you operate, but time, it would seem, isn't on your side. You are a relic of an impotent institution, propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy metal. Indeed. Rarely are there enough measures to keep the most tenacious of sprats from gnawing their way in. I've been following your progress closely, you know, since you so unceremoniously caused our Vox relay to crash into Fairfield. When you began your dealings with the Order and the Corporatists, I thought that perhaps having a chaotic element in their midst could work in our favor. But now you're here, scurrying around my ship and attempting to thwart the Protectorate yet again. You think yourself clever, don't you? The Sovereign is indisposed, leaving myself as the sole custodian of Arcadia. What's his is mine. And the victory I inevitably clench over you, over anyone, will be his in turn, even if he's not here to bask in it. For all your bluster, you seem more concerned with running your mouth than improving your performance in the field. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
The Protectorate was responsible for expanding the rift? Law, I'd ask why, but I can already guess the answer.
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. Very well. Once the rift destroys Arcadia, we shall edit the information stored within it and use the modulator to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose and the possibility of Arcadia's rebirth. When the matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the architect intended. Let me spell it out for you so that you understand. In the matriarch's younger years, she discovered a crashed ship deep in the Earth, and in it, the very first skip drive. She dissected this tech, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse. And, well, that eventually led to the manifestation of rifts. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. The opportunity to reconstruct the colony in its perfect form. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future. One free of doubt and greed. I've found when most people haven't a leg to stand on, they fall back into performative insouciance in an attempt to redirect the conversation. Always brazen, rarely effective. Listen closely. This is the work of the Grand Plan, guiding us toward humanity's ascension. Everything exists for this purpose. Since you took your time scurrying about my ship, presumably rifling through our things, I assume you also found information about the far-off rifts in untraversed space. That alone should tell you that we don't make our own circumstances. It seems they were made by the ship our matriarch found. A curiosity, isn't it? Without this discovery, we may never have realized the power we now possess with the rifts. Yes, the great architect works in mysterious ways. What else can I do but what is bidden? And yet, what is meant to be, will be. It matters not what path you tread, if the destination has been preordained. Now, as fascinating as your pseudo-intellectual musings have been to witness, I've reached my limit.
Beware, Commander. The Consul is a master manipulator. Trying to speak with him may be more dangerous than simply slaying him on the spot.
You're entirely out of your jurisdiction. And were I within reach, I would strike down this apostate dog myself. If you wish for me to entertain your argument, you will silence him.
No. Every breath this blackguard draws is a breath stolen from the people of Arcadia. Execution is almost too good for him. This course of action will see the crimes levied against the people of Arcadia rightfully revenged. I'm pleased that you have been convinced. Consul Emery Thoreau, I accuse you of perfidy of the highest degree. Traitorism against the Sovereign and his Protectorate. I find you guilty on all counts. Prepare for absolution.
You overeager fools. This is the last mistake you'll ever make.
Mediating!
I would not refuse.
Help me out. A little busy bleeding out if you haven't noticed.
You've so passionately delivered. And yeah, you are a relic. And but now you're here. Tell I was able to buy the time to enact the when the matriarch discovered.
Take the heat off you, Commander. Don't touch.
I am primed to punish.
You have my
If these readings are right, the rift's about to destabilize completely. This modulator ain't gonna do from this distance. Someone will have to fly it in close. Real close.
Even from the grave, the Consul still gets one against us. Damnation.
In the serials, this is usually the point when someone heroically volunteers. Commander, it's been an honor and a privilege. You really are the best the Directorate's got.
You've made an impossibly difficult decision, Commander. All that remains is that someone must take those schematics to those who can use them. With them in tow, we shall be able to use the processed rift data to create modulators that can be utilized at a safe distance. This shall spell the end of Arcadia's rift plague. This is a great honor. I shall not fail you.
Commanders sacrificed themselves to save the galaxy. No one knew their motives or thoughts in those final moments, though legends grew around this mythical agent of the Earth Directorate all the same. Vigilant Hogarth was declared a traitor to the Protectorate, along with most other Westport townsfolk. They were judged according to the paradigm, then sentenced to be executed until dead, forever tied to the city they could not protect. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek was awarded a commendation for profit-securing stalwartness, as well as promotion to regional manager. He eventually passed peacefully in his sleep at the scientifically astounding age of 6. Having died at the peace talks, Augustine DeVries' treachery was never known to the Earth Directorate. She is forever remembered as the star agent who tragically went missing during her mission. Val continued to serve the Earth Directorate faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. Agent Niles Ibarra achieved the rank of commander, earning renown as a formidable agent, unafraid to challenge the status quo within the Earth Directorate. He recruited his friend Zebulon Tran to the Earth Directorate, a gesture of gratitude for not airing the Directorate's dirty laundry. Together, they vowed to reform the agency from within, so it might never again bargain with authoritarian governments. Ultimately, Niles rose to the position of Secretary General. His term saw the Earth Directorate at its most popular, or, in the eyes of corporations and tyrannical governments, most feared. Tristan never uncovered who actually killed the Supreme Arbiter, a failing that chipped away at his ability to arbitrate. His once promising calling eventually ended with him stripped of rank, programming menial automechanicals somewhere deep within the husk of Protectorate society. Marisol quietly fumed over her unfinished business with Anaïs Bujold at Point Obviation. She eventually passed away in her sleep, alone and full of regret. Asa finally achieved her dream of dying in a rift. All it took was a daring and blood-soaked heist of a modulator to create a rift that she then summarily leapt into. Thus Asa remained a fanatical member of the Glorious Dawn, spreading the truth of the rifts to her final agonized breath. Forced to think for themselves after a lifetime of luxurious certainty, Protectorate hardliners banded together to preserve their society. Without the Order or the corporatists controlling Arcadia, they had a real chance at making a comeback. Sovereign Varric was eventually discovered in mental refreshment in a placid and compliant state. All parties felt it would be best to leave him in the hands of the remaining Protectorate, who had the most experience with refreshment's process and victims. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. Unable to die in their sacred rift after it was closed, the Glorious Dawn heeded a new calling, seeking the modulators needed to create new rifts, so that they could die in those instead. With unfettered access to skip drives, and its reputation untarnished by its still secret agreement with the Protectorate, the Earth Directorate became what it was always meant to be, the ultimate authority in Arcadia. The colony served as a base to expand the agency's reach across the galaxy. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.